Good morning. Hi, Kathy Burris showing up live today. Um, I think I'm already live. Uh, from Texas, I have come to spend some time with Ren's mom for Mother's Day. It was the first Mother's Day we got to spend with her in a long time. Um, and we're here in Canadian Texas, Hemphill County. And if you remember, back in February, this area, this whole county, um, was burned. Not all of it, but there was an awful lot of this area in the Texas Panhandle that experienced fire. And when we drove up, which we came from the Dallas area and drove this way, we expected to see huge scars, huge signs of burn that had happened, because up until just a short time ago, like last week when they started to have some rain, so much of the burned area they'd said looked like desert. The dirt would just blow because the fire had done such devastating effects. Now, we haven't driven around to see homes that were burned and things like that, but we watched for it to see where some of those signs were, and there were signs. There was shrub and bushes, and you could see just the black stalk that was still standing. But around it was a lot of growth, a lot of green, and we were surprised by that and grateful for it. You just want to see new life after such a devastating tragedy that fire was. Those fires were all up and down this area. And so it was life-giving to see life, to see green. Well, the other part of this trip is coming back here for me, is coming back to where my parents lived. My mom-in-law and my parents both lived in this same facility, same campus, in different parts of the campus. And my father-in-law when he was here as well. So this is the second time I've been back since my mom died in December of 2022, and my dad the July before that. And it's the first time I will go see the stone that's in the cemetery for my parents. And there's a lot of scar. Not bad, not tragic. Um, you expect your parents to die at some point. I just didn't expect it to happen when it did. And so coming back has stirred things in me. And it's not that I feel like I'm a desert land, though there was a time right after early 2023 when I crashed physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I just had a real meltdown, mostly because I just kept pushing through things and dealing with grief and so many aspects that kind of left scars. And I felt like I shouldn't have scars. I shouldn't feel deeply. And my siblings all feel different. They've all handled their grief differently than I have, and rightfully so, right? We were all made differently to process. And the five of us were together with our spouses this weekend, and we got to talk a little bit about that and recognize that what I need for my grief, most of them don't. And they do it differently. They work it out differently. But the interesting thing is, as I've been sitting here in my mom-in-law's beautiful patio, she's planted lots of flowers, and they're going to be beautiful this summer and fall. But as I've been sitting here pondering memories of mom and dad, pondering the times when Ren's dad was still living, and we first found this complex Mesa View village in Hemphill County, Canadian Texas. It's an awesome place if you need a referral in this area for assisted living and independent living here at the end of life. This is one of those really great places. But back to my point. the awareness that I have is that I also have a lot of green growing in me, a lot of life-giving green. And if you know my story, you know that um, before my daughter died, she had said to me, Mom, my favorite color means my favorite word. Green means hope. And I have just recognized, as I've pondered the last couple of days being here, the hope that I have. And no, I'm not back physically where I want to be, but I've dealt with so many of the emotional, mental, spiritual aspects. And the physical is coming, slow, but it's coming. And the scar is not scar. It's, or maybe it is, but it's not open, festering wounds. It's it's just a thin scar. But it's a reminder of the relationship I had with my parents, of the memories that I share with them, and taking the time to look back and to remember has made this a very sweet coming back to the area. And as I go see the stone, I think that I will, at the cemetery, I think that I will recognize that yes, there was an end of life as we know it, but it's the beginning of life in so many other ways. And I feel green. I feel hope. And I think I just wanted to share that with you. That there are times in your story that you look back and you think, I can't ever face that. I can't deal with that. And you try to work it out by not dealing with it. And sometimes that's exactly who you were made to be, is to keep working through it. That's okay. And sometimes you need to sit with it. You need to ponder it. You need to feel it. And you need to know which is right for you, and be okay that you don't do it like everybody else. And recognize that that time in my life of letting go of our parents, of letting go of their home, of taking the memories with us, has left an indelible mark. Scar, maybe, but more importantly, an impact, a legacy that I get to carry on, a legacy that gives hopefully green life. And sometimes it takes looking back, and sometimes it takes just paying attention to what you're seeing right now. So I'm sharing that with you. I want to let you know too that if you need help, if you'd like to have a community around you to help you pay attention to what you're experiencing, to what you've noticed, I'm hosting a Capture the Still, and if you've been around me very long, you know a little bit about that. I'll be sharing more about that in this next week. But I'm starting a Capture the Still next week, starting the 22nd, I think, a 21-day experience where we just take 10 minutes each day just to say, wait a minute, what am I noticing? What am I feeling? What am I hearing God inviting me to? And as you do that, listen for the opportunities He's planting in your way. So Capture the Still is that moment where we can be still and know the I am, that I am God. Be still. And we play on that word, and I'll talk more about that later. But if you're interested, I'll put the link in the comments. But just think about those things that you thought were going to leave such terrible, that open such terrible wounds, and consider how those wounds can heal and what those scars can look like with green all around them. Will you do that? I'd love to hear any of your thoughts or comments about some of your scar places, and how life has come after them. So leave your comment below or direct message me. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks for listening. Talk to you later.